Force and Motion, written by Ron Friedel. Introduction. The words above tell about motion. They describe different ways things move. Motion is all around you. There's even motion inside you. Your blood is moving right now. For every motion, there's a force. In this book, you will learn about motion and the forces that make things move. Motion needs a force. You need a force to move something. Lifting, pushing, and pulling are all forces. Where do forces come from? Sometimes the force comes from a person. When you lift your books, you are the force. If you push a car, you are the force. If you pull a rope to play tug of war, you are the force. Machines can be a force. A huge engine can push a rocket into space. A small electric motor can turn the blades of a fan or power up a toy car. Nature is also a force. Breezes make leaves shake in the treetops. Ocean waves make boats bob in the water. Earthquakes shake the ground. The laws of motion. Scientists have done tests on motion for hundreds of years. British scientist Isaac Newton discovered the force we call gravity. You cannot see gravity, but it causes things to fall toward the ground. Some people think that Newton discovered gravity when a falling apple hit him on the head. That's not true, but Newton did notice that things always fell down toward the ground. He would watch closely and make notes. This is how he discovered gravity. Newton's first law of motion. Isaac Newton is known for his three laws of motion. These laws explain how things move. The first law has two parts. Part 1 says that an object at rest will not move unless a force moves it. For example, your bike will stay parked until something moves it. Part 2 says that an object will keep moving in the same way unless a new force changes how it moves. It will keep moving at the same speed and in the same direction. If you pedal your bike faster or turn, your bike will change speed or direction. If you brake, it will stop. Inertia makes an object keep doing what it is doing. An object at rest will not move unless a force moves it. An object's motion will not change unless a force stops it or changes its speed or direction. Newton's first law of motion is also called the law of inertia. Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion has to do with mass and speed. Mass is the amount of matter or physical stuff in an object. For example, a huge boulder has a lot more mass than a tiny pebble. This law states that an object's motion depends on how much mass it has and how much force is needed to move it. A boulder has more mass than a small rock, so more force will be needed to move it or stop it from rolling. The second law is also about speed. The faster an object moves, the more speed it has and the more force is needed to stop it. Think about a train speeding down a track. It has a lot of mass and speed, so a strong force is needed to overcome its inertia and make it stop. The force in a moving object is called momentum. The more speed and mass an object has, the more momentum it has. Newton's third law of motion. Newton's third law of motion says that every force or action has an equal and opposite reaction. So, if you lift a 9-kilogram box, the box falls down with an equal force of 9 kilograms. This law helps you understand why a balloon full of air goes flying if you let go before you're tired. Air rushes out the open end. An opposite force pushed on the far end. This opposite force makes the balloon fly. Types of forces. You've read about how people, machines, and nature can be forces. Now you will read about 3 other important forces. Gravity. Isaac Newton learned how objects pull each other because of gravity.